didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
I love Jackie, but maybe she didn't send you the right file.
She said that was the first time that she had
Yeah.
ever
Oh,
recorded
gotcha.
it. So
Okay.
I like to have this stuff to reference so that when, boss asks, why the heck are you doing that? I have a clip to reference.
Gotcha. Okay. So are you seeing my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, what I'm going to do is show you your products in Sage Online.
Okay.
So this is one of the tools that the distributor uses in order to locate products and
Mhm.
suppliers. This way you'll kind of see it from a different perspective. It is the same information that you see in the Sage Supplier Center. It's just laid out a little bit differently.
Okay.
And I have some, let's see. And I'm going to apologize if my dogs start barking
Oh, that's fine.
because they're like children. You get on the phone and
Yep.
okay. So I was looking at this particular product here and your themes. I'm not sure why you have dentist listed as a theme for a coaster.
We had we didn't know this until I started trying to update some of this stuff. Um, we push everything from a centralized database, and you
Mm-hmm.
guys must have added new themes. And so the way that our database was pushing over our themes was like, go down the list 20 to for we had smoking for almost all of our themes.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So um it was because we had it tagged as sports, but you guys maybe added a couple different new themes, maybe. I don't
We
or
haven't added anything to your products.
no, to the potential themes that you could select, because our
Mm,
software goes in and basically was automated. Long story short, it was an automated theme selection process from our database that was picking the wrong theme. It was picking
okay.
maybe one or two higher in the theme list. So that could
Gotcha.
be that's definitely uh
I mean,
miss
another good one for this would be drinking.
yeah.
So barware, beverage, drinking. A word is kind of stretching it, but
Mhm.
I can see what you mean by it because it is only one coaster.
Yeah.
Um, so I
Do
could see
we
where it could be kind of an award, but it is stretching it a little bit.
do we get penalized if we're stretching it in terms
Um,
of
no, not
dentist or
really.
award?
I mean, if someone is looking for items related to dentist, they might get
Yeah.
upset because your coaster shows in there.
Okay.
Um, so I mean, it's not that you get penalized. I mean, you could get distributor reports. Just they love to do that. They love to tell us when things are wrong.
Oh, okay.
But it's not helping you. So
Okay.
we'll just put it that way. And then down under the keywords, your keywords are pretty good. I mean, they're okay for this, but the first letter of each word has to be capitalized.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And keywords are more geared towards physical characteristics. What shape is the product? What material is it made out of? What special features does it have? Things like that
Hmm.
is what you want to look at for the keywords.
Oh, wait. All right. Give me one second. Keyword, shape,
Shape, material,
material,
features.
features.
Yeah.
And why does it have to be capital for
It's for consistency because we have almost 1.4 million products in our database. And so we have to make the data consistent. So when a
okay.
distributor is putting together presentations,
Hmm.
proposals, things like that,
Okay.
it follows the same. Plus, it's easier to read when the first letter is
Sure.
capitalized.
Sure. That's no problem. So what happens if we're not capitalized? Does
I'll
that
call you and tell you to capitalize it.
wow. All right. That
Yeah,
so it doesn't hurt us
it
to
doesn't
have it,
hurt you, no,
but it doesn't
but
help us
you're not
because
you're not following our written format. We do
okay.
have written formats on how data should be listed.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Let's see. Okay, so now my question regarding this product. You've got green, gray, and cement. Of course, cement is not a color,
Sure.
but green, gray, cement listed. Does that mean it comes, the product is all three colors on one product, or
So
is it
the
three
bottom,
separate colors?
that's kind of what I was confused about how to tag it. So
Okay.
the bottom is actually a cement and the top is a marble.
Yeah,
But
those are materials.
I was sort of under the impression of casting the widest net, if that makes sense. Of somebody may be looking for cement and not quite know it, so they might pick gray, and somebody may be looking for uh, gray, but they're okay with cement, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, cement is not considered a color. That's a material.
Sure.
So
So
that
that
would
would
go
be
in
a
the
keyword. Okay.
keyword. Yeah. Now, if this particular item is gray and green on one item,
Hmm.
you don't separate by commas. You put a slash.
Okay.
So it'd be
Gotcha.
green slash gray. And
Gotcha.
kind of think of that slash as the word and.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
green and gray. The comma is or. So this means I could get it solid green or solid gray, the way it's listed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Your keywords for this look pretty good. You've got natural stone, you've got marble listed here, rugged edges, polished, textured, recognition, corporate. When it comes to awards, some of the other words you could use is like service, safety, because some people call them safety awards or service awards. And you don't necessarily have to repeat words, so you don't have to put awards in here after each one. You could just put service or safety. Let's see, you've got recognition, you've got corporate, service, safety. Anniversary is another one because they call them anniversary awards. Okay. And then also with the colors, the first letter should be capitalized. That's a nice looking award, actually. It's really pretty. Oh, I can't hear you. Mm-mm.
Oh, I accidentally muted myself.
Oh,
Did what I was asking is if I label it service and safety and everybody else is labeling it service and safety, am I burying myself by not, am I more likely to bury myself by using keywords that everybody is generically using within that category? And am I, would I be potentially better off going for niche words that may not get searched as much, but we're going to end up at the top of the list when they do search for those
okay.
niche words?
Well, there's different, okay. The way our search works, when a distributor does a search, how the order of the products show up in is actually based on an algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
And that algorithm is called best match. And there's several different factors to that best match. I'm going to open up. I'm going to go to Sage Member so I can pull that document up. This document can be found under Sage Member if you go under Support and Knowledge Base and then type in best match. So basically, these are the different criteria that determine the order that the products show up in. So it talks about product information as it relates to search terms. So You want to have those physical characteristics, plus you want to have the other names that people call awards, because they're going to search that way. And if you don't
Mhm.
have service listed, you're not going to show up.
If you
Um,
don't have service listed,
if
you're
you
not
don't
going to
have
show up.
service, yep.
Okay.
Because if they search for service awards and you don't have that listed, you will not
Hmm.
show up. So
Okay.
you want to make sure that you hit all those possible terminologies that they can call your award.
Sure. But there's only so much.
Yeah, but what you have to remember is every field is searchable by
Okay.
keywords. So if you have award as the category, you don't need to put it in as a keyword. So
Right.
that saves you space.
Hmm.
If you've got service listed in the description, you don't have to have it in the keywords.
Okay.
So you can utilize all those spaces. Yes, the description I believe is 500 characters and keywords are 200 characters. So what you could do is start looking at what you're duplicating
Hmm.
to free up some additional space.
Sure. Okay.
It looks to see if the products are current and verified, which yours are. It looks at the popularity of the products, and it's not just the views of the products, but how the product is being used. Is it being put into a presentation, a proposal, a purchase order?
Okay.
Popularity of the supplier, that's the views of your company information.
Hmm.
Ratings. It not only looks at the value of the ratings, but how many ratings that you have.
Okay.
It
So
looks
if the
Mhm.
more
Go ahead.
ratings we get, the higher the higher up we
Yes.
show up. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Um, Also, it looks to see if you're logged into Sage Chat, if you're
Oh,
if you're providing order status, if you're providing inventory, and how long you've been a member of Sage.
okay.
So those are the key factors. They're not weighted the same.
Hmm.
And it is a dynamic search. So, you could come up as number 2 today, but I search in 2 weeks, you could come up as number 1, or you could come up lower, just depending on
Okay.
everybody else. Um, so that's kind of how the search criteria works. Again, the more information that you do have listed on your product data, the better it's going to help you guys
Okay.
looking,
Do
for
you,
your products showing up.
I noticed at Dallas Promotional that um, on their distributor sites, they don't typically list the dimensions of it. Would you recommend that in the product description we keep, like this one has the height, the width and the height? Would you recommend, for the sake of the distributors who may be potentially utilizing our awards on their site, that we include that in the product description?
It's actually not in the product description. It shows in the description, but there's a separate field on the product that you put in your
Okay.
dimensions.
Okay.
It just automatically shows it here. I do
Okay.
recommend having your dimensions, because that if someone because a lot of times when a distributor has a customer, they'll either show them an award that they had previously or a plaque or something, or they'll show them a picture of something that they found.
Yeah.
And really, the only way they have to kind of filter that down, because they don't necessarily know who made that award, is those physical characteristics. What shape is it? What are the dimensions of that product? What
Okay.
material is it made out of, if they can tell what material it's made out of? That's how they have to search
So
it down.
shape, material, and then what was the last one you said?
I said dimensions, which
Dimensions.
kind of goes with shape, but
But
yeah.
the dimensions will be pulled in outside
Yes.
of that description, because I was worried about going back in and uh adding all the descriptions into the
Oh,
product description, thinking that we were missing it, so that I had, that was needed.
yeah. See, like right here, you do have the dimensions here. I recommend not putting it directly into the
Okay.
um the
Yeah,
description. You want to
that's
put it
good.
in the dimensions area,
Okay.
because that makes it more searchable that way
Sure. I
if they're
think
searching by size.
that's how we have them set up. I saw it on Dallas and I'm like, oh, I better add that. Or I thought maybe it was doing well because it had that. So
Gotcha.
way off.
Gotcha. Let's see. And like on this one, it looks like it's 3 colors on one award. So you would put the slash instead of the comma.
Slash. Okay.
Yeah. And then on your keywords, this information has to be end user safe. So you cannot list any item numbers and keywords.
Don't list item numbers in the
Mm-mm.
keywords. I have been going through, I've only been working on this for about 3 weeks. So I've been
Gotcha.
going through and doing what I can, but we got so many products that I left some of them just because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know something, better keep them. And okay, so I can go through and delete all those.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I noticed that you guys don't have any shipping information, like you don't
Mhm.
show where it ships from or any of that.
That's a problem with our
Okay.
database. I'd gone through and replaced and put our shipping information. Is there a way that we can just put across the board shipping information for this stuff? Because it's all coming from the same place.
I can do the zip code, but I can't do the units per carton and weight per carton and all
Yeah,
that. But I can
I
do
don't
the
have
zip
that
code.
information. And is that
Um,
one at a time?
That part is yes, but you can use the spreadsheet. Have you?
That's what we're
Yeah.
we're working on. I'm working on with our over.
Oh, I think you muted yourself again.
I'm working with our overseas team to port that in because they manage our database
Gotcha.
of products. So that's definitely on the agenda
Gotcha.
for sure. So is this how they'll see our ads too? If
Yes.
they okay.
Yep.
And then they click and it gives them 3 options. Does that just lead them to our like is it leading them to the Cosmos collection or is it leading them just to our website as general or is
I
it
have no
whatever we have
idea
it set
because
up
it
as?
has 3 links here. Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, this is
Yep.
the first link.
So just our homepage.
Let me see what that second link is.
Same thing.
I'm
How
not
do
sure why you have 3 links on there.
I think I just filled it because there was nothing on them.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, there was nothing on them, and I'm like, anything is better than nothing.
Right.
But
Oh, it does look like somebody in your company is logged into Sage Chat.
really,
Yeah, it's flashing green.
Hmm.
I wonder if I can tell who's logged in. Let me see.
Why don't you just send them a message and say, "Who is this?" I would love to know.
The
I didn't.
login ID. Oh, here it is. Let's see here. The login ID is,
It's probably overseas.
yeah, it says data request, data processor. The
Would you
email address is data@visionawards.com.
would you say something to it and see
Sure.
if they don't just have it set up to some so it's not going so I
Now,
know where it's going, I guess I should
if
say.
they don't respond and they're showing that they're online, it counts against you.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, and they're currently not responding.
Can you do you have to wait for a representative to join or can you say
I can say, but no one's picked it up yet.
and so is it like a timer that's like is the slower you respond the more it counts against you
It's
or
more if you don't respond at all. And
okay.
it can count like double against you.
Ooh,
It,
yeah,
it's
versus just having it turned off or
yes.
something. Can we turn that off?
No, they have to do it. Whoever's logged in.
So we're probably getting our butt whooped from that because I don't know where that's going.
Yeah, the email address is data@visionsawards.com.
Okay.
Oh, now they're logged out.
Now they're logged out.
Yeah. So that would count against you because they were logged in, they didn't respond, and then they logged off.
Gotcha. A lot of stuff to do.
And the other thing about the chat is not only does it show up on your products, but this right here that says ask the supplier a question, that's also linked to the chat.
So they're just getting a dead end anytime anybody asks us a question on here. That's embarrassing. Okay. That's good to know. We'll move. We'll move with that.
And there was, let's see here. Okay, so this particular product, it looks like you've got it listed separately by color.
Okay.
But then when I click into it, okay, so, but then you have all the colors listed on each individual one. You can have it one way or the other way. You can have one listing with all the colors, or you can have them listed separately. You can't have them both.
Which one do you think would make more sense in
One
this
listing.
case? One listing with all the colors.
Yeah, because what that does is whenever you get your product views, if you want all your product views to go on one listing. If you've got it spread over several, then that kind of depletes
dilutes. Gotcha.
Dilutes your product listing.
Okay. Now, as for, let's say we have something with digital print, we don't need to list all the colors that could be digital printed on it, do we? Or would that help us or hurt us? Because some of them I went through thinking, hey, we digital print these, let's add all the colors.
Okay, so when you say you digital print them, does it start out with a base color and then you put color on top of it, or?
So it would start out with, remove the house and the regional manager and the real estate and the key, and it would be
clear,
just
basically.
that. Yeah, it'd be blank with the red on the bottom. So the resin red and white on the bottom, that would still be there. But the digital print is an additional decoration that can be done in any color. Pantone, CMYK.
Yeah, because that's the different, when it says colors here, that's actually the product color. That's not the imprint color.
Not the decoration.
Not the decoration.
Okay, so colors.
I would recommend putting something, if you have space in your description, I would put something in the description that says, particularly if you can do any color imprint, you want to let them know that.
So if I can do any color imprint, do I want to put, we offer all of these colors? Do we want to do CMYK, Pantone?
I wouldn't list colors. I would just, because they can't really search by imprint colors anyway in our system.
Okay.
But it's good to know. I would, just say something, imprint available in any color, and you could put comma CMYK, comma PMS match.
Any color.
For those people that may not understand what that means.
Color match, you said?
Yep, PMS color match.
Okay.
That's cool looking though.
Yeah, I like the ocean, sort of the ocean theme stuff that we do.
Well, and your image is really good because I can zoom in and actually see details of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
See,
so
I didn't know.
Really
I didn't know
good.
you could zoom in like that on. There's no way to zoom in on
Now in the supplier center.
Is there any way? So I was looking at I don't know how much you do with advertising, but I was looking at our advertising of our individual, what would it be? Keywords, I think. Let me see here. It would be search result featured products. And I'm looking at the preview and I'm going, we got a lot of like dead space or whatever you want to call it, open space around the outside of some of these awards, to where if I'm looking at these from a within the distributor channel, it's going to be really hard. I guess that's not too bad. That
Because
looks
then
big.
they'll click on it and they
Yeah.
can view the information, go to your website,
Yeah.
flyers. Again, the Sage Chat is listed on there as
Do
well.
people use Sage Chat a lot? Is it something commonly used, or is
We
it
had, well, last year we had over 1 million chats that went through Sage Chat. So it's kind of hit or miss. I think what has happened is a lot of suppliers have not started logging in, so the distributors are not using it as much as they could be using it if the suppliers were logged in.
because nobody's there to answer?
And you can set up as many people as you want to log into Sage Chat.
Hmm.
And then once it comes through, it'll actually flash on everyone's computer until somebody picks it up.
Okay. Okay. That makes
And
sense.
you just go into Sage Member and set them up with their login credentials, and they're
Okay.
able to log in. Yeah, because we use it internally.
Hmm.
And this is kind of what it looks like. And when a chat comes in, you get like a little pop up in the lower right corner
Okay.
that tells you a chat's coming in.
Yeah, pretty basic.
Yeah. When I first started at Sage, what did we use? That was so long ago. We used AIM chat.
AOL,
And then,
MSN.
yeah, we didn't use MSN. We used ICQ for a long time. But now that we're all working out, out of the office, we all use Sage Chat now. And you can set up like internal groups. Like we have a lot of little groups set up. We have one that talks about recipes. We have one that talks about our pets. We have one that's for our book club. So you can set up internal chat groups too as well.
In Sage
Yep, in the Sage Chat.
with amongst our employees that are
Uh-huh.
signed in. Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Hmm.
See.
Yeah, those don't look quite as bad as in the advertisements at the bottom. The keyword search don't look quite as small as they're looking in my Sage
Right.
desktop app, because I was like, nobody's gonna be able to tell what the heck that is, but they don't look too bad there.
Right. Yeah. They're a little larger. And like I said, when they hover over them, it kind of brings it up a little bit more
Okay,
too.
that's nice. Yeah,
And then like I said, they can click and go straight to that product. They can,
does it go straight to that? Like, how
well, they
does
would just click on it and do
view
product
product
info.
information? Okay. So I was worried about the website not going directly to, because I thought Jackie said that you had the option of going to, I misinterpreted it. I thought she said it would take you to the website or to the flyers that you set up. So I didn't know
It
that
can
it
do
would bring
both.
you
Yeah.
within Sage, that it would bring you to the actual award.
Yep. Yeah. And like on this one right here,
Yeah,
capitalize the first letter. And I'm
that's
assuming
wrong.
this is
Yeah,
imprint. Yeah.
that's gonna have to all be undone. Um,
And again, they can click on it and, zoom in.
that's great. I didn't know they could do that because I've never seen
Yeah.
the actual distributor channel and the way it works.
And it's helpful too with like awards. You can see how the edges are. You can see how the
Hmm.
detail on the actual award,
Yeah,
how the base looks and all of that. It just makes it a lot easier for um the customer to look at it because they're not touching and feeling it. This is the best thing we
sure,
can get to that.
sure. Now let's say we had a video on one of these products. How does that show up?
You can't really attach a videos to a specific product. The video has to go in the resource area, and that's
Oh, so
you.
they can see all of that. Oof,
Mhm.
that's all out of date. So I got to start pulling that down because I was just looking at that yesterday, and all of our prices and everything on those is like 3 years old.
Oh
So
goodness, yeah.
yeah, we had somebody doing this and they got pulled off for something else, and then this just got
behind.
neglected. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you can upload videos in here. You can put in URL links. So like if you have a YouTube video,
Mhm.
documents, flyers, different things like that. Also, you can list specials if you guys run specials throughout the year. You have the ability to list any specials. You do have to use the desktop app to do that. It's not in the new supplier center yet. And what that does whenever somebody lists a special, let's see here. Let me do. let's see. Down here, I can say I want to see anything that's on special.
Mhm.
Let me
Do
see.
people search by that quite often?
They
Or
do.
so
Yeah,
they're
because
looking for specials.
they do because they could either still charge their customer the regular price and take a larger profit, or they can use that as a bargaining tool with their customer. If their customer comes back and says, I really like it, but it's really out of our price range, then the distributor can come back and say, well, let me see what I can work out for you and be like a hero.
Gotcha.
So once I click into it, right up here, you'll see where it shows specials. There's a number 1.
Mhm.
That's where I find out what the special is. So it shows the regular price of the product. It shows what the special is. It expires at the end of the year. So you put in your expiration date. It doesn't have to be a long special. It could be maybe a month or a
Yeah.
couple of weeks. Once it expires, it automatically goes inactive. So you guys
Okay.
do not have to go back in there and
Worry
remove
about
it.
it.
But if you want to extend it, you just come back in there and change the expiration date and it will extend it back out and you don't have to re-enter in all that information.
Okay. So it's not like necessarily that they're going to see these specials advertised as much as they're going to search for specials.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, they kind of see it because whenever it has a special, it has like this little price tag next to it.
What price tag?
It's right over
I
here.
can't.
I know
Well, it
it's
was
probably tiny.
no. I just have the picture of us in the way. So it
Oh,
says special. What is that? 99% or something. But that shows that it's on special. Okay.
yep, that's what the lower price, like the old fashioned price tag. So they can search that way. They can search, or they could just see when they do a search if there's a special listed.
Mhm.
Um, they can also search by different kinds of specials. So they can search by if they're looking for a setup charge special, a self promo special.
So we don't charge for setup. I think on Crystal, it's all inclusive. So like
Hmm.
we were trying to figure out a way to set up a special, even though it's normal business as usual. We wanted to kind of emphasize that I'm pretty sure it's all inclusive for Crystal. So would that show up if we have a special that says our setup charges or setup fees and personalizations are free? Um, you know, would that would that be something advantageous for us to
Yes.
do? Yeah.
Yep.
Is that standard?
Because not everybody does that.
Okay.
Most people charge some sort of a setup fee. And
Mhm.
so that's kind of outside the box.
Yeah.
And you want people to know that because that can make a big difference on if they choose you over someone else. Because the setup charge could be, anywhere
Half the
from
price of it.
$50,
Yep.
$200, depending on what it is.
Right.
Um, so you definitely like this one has a special on setup charges. See what they say. Free PMS color matching. Wow, max discount $300. It's pretty good.
So you got to put a max discount on it.
You don't have to.
You don't have
Mm-mm.
to.
Nope.
Maybe smart to if somebody. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's up to you guys how you
Yeah.
want to do it. You can,
I
because it's an
really.
open area that you can put any kind of restrictions in there if you want to.
Yeah.
You can say that they have to refer to a promo code in order to get the special if it's not on the
Okay.
purchase order. That way you can track where it comes from
Hmm.
if you have a promo code attached to it.
Okay.
Because I don't know I'm sure you have your products in ASI. Um, And if you do specials over there, you probably want to have different promo codes. That way you can keep
Sure.
track of where they're coming from.
Yep. Okay. I wish I could just, see this all day, every day. So I knew what the competitors are doing, what the pricing, where we stand price wise. That's why it kind of stinks that you can't see the
You
other
kind of
side.
sort of can, but you don't hear this from me. Here's one of our website examples.
Mhm.
You can actually do searches in here. It's not going to tell you who the supplier is, but you'll be able to see the retail price.
Oh, perfect. That is
Yeah.
incredible.
So you could actually, if you want to do, um,
So this is just like the Dallas promotion website, right? This is
yes,
basically same
yep,
sort of minus their branding.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
yep. And so, like, I just pulled this particular item up right here. Um, they have upgrades that they have on it. Packaging, and then, oh, that's listed incorrectly. They can't do that. Who is this? I'll have to look that up.
Ban them. Kick them off. Get them out of here.
But,
What
you
were
know,
they doing that they can't do?
the
So
setup
I know not to do
charges,
the same thing.
you can't put your setup charges in the options area.
Okay.
Because the options area is set up to charge per piece. So if I were to select this item and I did 15, for example, it
They'd
would
only be getting
charge
charged $55.
15 times.
Well, they're screwing themselves then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Interesting.
this
So
is a good way. And if you want to look at just your products, you can just put your item number in here and it will pull up just your product.
our item number in Sage.
Yeah, your whatever item number you have your product here. So yeah, this
Okay.
item number.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect. That's a lot of information, but I think we got a lot of clarity on this. This being able to do this is like somebody turning the lights on. I can we haven't been able to see how this stuff, as far as anybody knew or I knew, hasn't been able to look at this. So
Yeah.
that's big because we were wondering what are our competitors doing? How's this work? So this is extremely
It's
helpful.
my secret.
Yeah. I Carmen who?
I'm a big picture person.
Yeah.
So being able to see, your products in the Sage Supplier Center is totally different than being able to see like the distributor or the end buyer experience.
Yeah.
And I always tell people if you're going to have like options listed, you definitely want to lay your options out, then come in here and make sure that they flow correctly. Because those options make drop down menus
Hmm.
and you want to make sure that they're correct.
Okay. Yes, this is exactly what I was looking for, is just some kind of feedback for as to how the person punching in their card sees everything
Hmm.
versus, it's not we're sort of catering to distributors, but if we don't have it set up in a way that distributors can add us to their specific site and sell, choose all of the
Right.
stuff that we offer, then we may only actually be eligible to sell a quarter of our stuff because the data is not structured right, or it's got errors that are going to detract them from pushing us.
Let's see here. You guys have a little over 1,000 products. What I usually recommend to suppliers when they're trying to do an overhaul of their products, start out with your most popular products first.
Okay.
Get those the way you want to. And I'm certainly here and available anytime if you want me to look at something that you've done,
Hmm.
give you feedback on it. That's what I'm here for, because my goal, I always say, my goal is all the free stuff. I want to make sure that you're utilizing everything, you're getting the best visibility possible for your products. Jackie likes to sell you stuff. So that's the difference.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we all got to do what we got to do.
Yeah. And so Jackie and I work really good together. And, like I said, myself and my team, our goal is to help you get that visibility so you are getting those sales so that maybe you do want to advertise.
Yeah. Right. So we got sales to justify
Yep.
advertising. Um, Perfect. That's a lot to think about. Uh, how could you show me? I tried just because I had seen the link ad that we were running, and it wasn't converting anything. So I said, let's pull that. Uh, and I wanted to see what the distributor channel advertisements would look like. We have for the distributor channel, I just did like 25 bucks for a few different products and we're through them in a day. And I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of
Oh,
that
are
was
those going
fast.
on to the distributors' websites?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I thought we had about 100 times better engagement through the keyword results versus going onto the distributor websites. And I kind of wonder, how are those showing up? What does that look like? Is it properly getting, you know, are they properly? I just wanted to see what kind of response we'd get to them. It didn't look great, and it burnt through a couple $100 in a day. And I thought, uh, so
I'm
I'm
not as,
curious.
yeah, I'm not as familiar with all the advertising anymore, because I was, when I first started at Sage, I was in sales.
Hmm.
Um, but they've added so many different things. Let me look and see. Oh, the distributor website. Okay. The way I understand the distributor website sponsored products is whenever they do a search and they get search results and your product is in there, it's actually tagged
It's at the
that says
top,
it's a
right?
sponsored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. I just wondered, how does it show, like what is showing up? Like if let's say I have a marble award and somebody searches for acrylic, is my marble award still showing up at the top with the acrylic search?
I don't think so. You have one ad that's still live. Let's see here. Oh, and it doesn't count when I look, just to let you know. I have a little tiny dog that thinks he's a pit bull, and I have a pit bull that thinks he's a lap dog.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, it shows that it's a sponsored product. I just type for acrylic numbers. Let me type for, see what happens. Yeah, it doesn't show up when I type for crystal.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We don't want
So
we don't want it to.
yeah, I think it looks at your keywords and that's how it.
Gotcha. Okay, I wanted to make sure that we weren't peeing into the wind, so to speak.
And now
Uh
have you gone to the Sage Supplier Center? Has Jackie showed you all the performance and stats and
yes.
all of that? Okay.
I had just kind of stumbled upon that myself, so um that's one of the first places I dug around was to kind of I was shooting blind, so I was looking at what's doing good and then trying to reverse engineer it to figure out what does it have that the rest of the stuff is missing.
Gotcha. Yeah, my favorite part of this is the my products area where they break it out by each product.
Hmm.
Um, this can be really helpful for you as a supplier. Like if you have multiple products that are very similar, you can kind of see which ones are getting more visibility. And these can also be exported to CSV files
Yep.
and you can change your dates.
Yep. I have that was one of the first things I did is
And on
exported that.
these charts, you can also eliminate.
Oh, okay.
So if you
Nice.
want to just look at one chart,
Yeah. Now, I do have a question. It says email clicks.
what does that mean?
I don't think we do any emails, so I was like, what is
Okay.
this?
So what that means is when the distributor is looking at your products, if they
Mhm.
click right here to email you guys, that's what an email click is. Same thing
Oh,
for website. If they click right here and go to
okay.
your website, that's a website click.
And so it says end user safe. What does that mean?
That means a distributor can send your website to their end user.
And it won't have the wholesale pricing.
Exactly.
Okay,
And they
perfect.
won't be able to contact you and things like that.
Oh, okay. See, we put our phone number on here, on our website, and some distributors had yelled at us at a trade show, and we were kind of like, you're the only one contacting us, what's the big deal? We're just trying to make it, and that's that it makes a lot of
Oh, okay.
sense. That makes, because we were just like,
Why are you yelling at us?
people were trying to get a hold of us, and they'd kept trying to, they would email us and ask us for our number, and we're like, well, why don't we just put it on the site? Nobody's reaching out, that isn't already in the industry, so why don't we just put it on there? And then very quickly we heard how much people, and I think there's just a little bit of, we've had a little bit of churn, so I think there's a little bit of not people not quite understanding how, like,
Gotcha.
I didn't understand that the stuff from Sage and ESP, even I've been looking at the information and rewriting the product descriptions and keywords for the last month, and I just now realized when Jackie showed me the Dallas promotional website, I'm like, oh, they're not, the distributors aren't coming in here and clicking and ordering, selling 20 awards. They're, basically drop shipping it from having a front end, and then the customer pays, and then
Mm-hmm.
somehow or another the money is getting through them to us. So this is all somehow news to us. Like, and we've had, some of the guys who have been here longer say, you guys don't have any clue how this industry works. And honestly, we haven't. So in some ways, in some of these aspects. So this is clarifying a lot of stuff for us.
And distributors can send orders directly to you through the Sage tool.
Mhm.
Those come over to you by email. You can also see them here underneath the orders area.
Are we
Um,
penalized for not updating the status?
no, you're not penalized for it, but it does help you. It gives you a benefit to update the status.
Do most people have somebody who's just going in and manually updating that status, or do most people somehow have that database and updated as the order progresses?
They set it up with an API.
Okay.
Um, when you do order status with the API, you have to remember that not all distributors are going to send orders to you through Sage, but they may want to see their order status in Sage. Because what we have done here is, like, I
Wait, we
clicked
don't have
into,
this filled out?
you don't, this is for the distributor to fill out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the My Supplier Info tab, this is unique to each distributor. And if they want to get your order status information, they would put in their account number right here. And if you guys are pushing order status, that's how it links up.
Mhm.
Let me show you one that has it. So this happens to be an account number. I happen to know it's a Halo account. I don't know how I figured that out, but I do happen to know that.
Okay.
Maybe because they order so much.
Probably.
And then you guys decide what information you want to provide. You know, you don't have to provide every single step. You provide what you can. And then you can provide the tracking number, and that way they can track it. You're not sending proprietary information, you're sending strictly just the status. So if I just got this by accident because I did a typo on the number, I couldn't tell who the distributor was, what was ordered, where it was shipped, how much it was, or any of that just by looking at this.
Gotcha.
They can also set up alerts. So it's kind of like that online ordering experience where they're alerted every single time.
Sure.
And again, the Sage chat is also attached to this.
Beautiful. There's so much that I had no clue that was part of. You just don't see it from the supplier side.
Right.
So it's which I kind of like because everybody else is probably doing it just as clueless as us. I'm hoping.
Well, I'm hoping not as many are as clueless because I've been
Oh,
working really hard on educating everybody.
you just take a break now. Now that we know what's going on, we got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really cool because they can take all the information that you put in here. I can basically click a button and create a presentation to send to my
Mhm.
customer. The presentation will grab all your data.
Is
We
that a pretty
also,
popular?
oh yes, we have a great CRM program. It's one of the best in the industry, and distributors love it. And everything just connects for them. They don't have to like save and store it. It's just all connects in the CRM. We also added AI technology. So let's say, for example, I didn't really like this description.
Yeah.
I could come here and I could
Oh,
change it. I can even translate it to Canadian French or to Spanish
that's awesome.
if I wanted to.
So what I had been doing is I had actually we had overseas write a lot of our product descriptions and nobody had ever gotten around to going back through it. So I was actually uploading the images to ChatGPT saying inspect this, tell me about it, sell it. And so I had basically gone through and rewrote all of our product descriptions, and so that's probably what they've been doing because our old product descriptions were a little.
Yeah, I understand.
Yep.
I deal a lot with that.
Yep.
The other place that we added AI technology, which is why it's important that, I'm sorry, stop. Which is important that you try to make sure you have right categories, right keywords.
Hmm.
Stop. In the search area, we added this idea generator or idea wizard. So if the distributor has a customer that doesn't really know what kind of items they want, they could type in like a little bit about the event or the promotion, and this will generate ideas for them. And it's
Okay.
based on the information that you guys are putting in on your product data. So, like if I did, I always laugh when I do this one because I don't think 10Ks are fun.
Yeah, right. Not even a 5K.
So it just generates ideas for them, and they can go down and look and see. And so let's say, okay, I want to do metals. I just hit search it, and what it's going to do is it's actually going to fill in the search screen for me. and just give me some ideas. I can go back and filter it even more if I want to. Like if I wanted to put in a price point, I could do that, a quantity. I don't know, let's say I want 100.
So if you type in like
Wow.
3D, because I know we have some metals that are 3D reliefs. I'm curious if that would, and you can put in specific suppliers. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, I know in ASI they have a preferred seller list that kind of pushes everybody to the top that you set up. There's none of that.
Well, I guess sort of. We have what we call a preferred group. So like the Halos, the Staples, and things like that. If they have preferred suppliers, they can put them into groups. And then they can have it to where it does push them to the top. But not only does it push them to the top when they search in our Sage tools, they can also have a push to the top on our Sage websites
Okay.
as well. Because like I know I Promote You, they have like I think 5 different categories or 5 different levels
Hmm.
of suppliers. And I think they name it 1 through 5 or something. They have like really fancy names for them. They can have it show up that way because they, obviously if they have deals with certain suppliers, they want to try to do business with them before they go outside their preferred list. But yes, they can certainly do that. And that's, we actually have a team that works with these larger distributorships and helps them get it all set up. And honestly, some of our new things that we've added to our tools and our websites over the years is because of these groups. They're like, well, we
Halo
want
and
it to do this. Yeah.
so is there any way that like we could incentivize people putting us as their one of their preferred suppliers by offering them, for make us your preferred supplier and we will give you NOQ or next order quantity.
Yeah.
Is there any way that we can incentivize um, customers to do that?
I
Or
mean,
suppliers, distributors?
just that's okay. I get confused some days too. Um, I mean, I've had people do stuff like that as a special. They'll mark it as a special. Um, I mean, I don't know how honest they would be on doing that. You know what I mean? They might just do it that one time and
Yeah, and just say that they did it and then grab the,
mm-hmm, the
but
discount or whatever.
they may never remove it. So it
Mm-hmm.
might be worth that risk.
Yeah.
Hmm. Maybe worth a shot for,
And that's also too, I've had people where they'll do like flyers and they'll put flyers when they ship it out to, if it's going directly to the supplier, that'll say, hey, if you make us, your preferred vendor, you'll get this discount or whatever. Um, you just kind of have to get creative with it a little bit.
does that seem to work for him?
I really haven't heard any feedback on it, honestly.
Okay. Hmm.
Sometimes they talk to me and sometimes they don't.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, it's worth a try. I mean, if it doesn't really work, then
You just give away all that profit you would have got, right?
just for a moment.
Yeah. Um, trying to think if there's anything else. I've got
To-do
quite
list.
the to-do list now. I would
Yeah, I'm
love,
kind of known for that.
yeah, good. That's what I want. The more I've got to do, the more we can I mean, if we haven't had this tuned in, then hopefully, we're just gonna be slammed with with orders if people can find us properly, find our stuff properly, and it's formatted properly so that distributors can put it on their distributor site. A lot of stuff that just hasn't been touched on in years. And
Yeah, and you can start tracking your numbers. You can see where you were for like the month of May. This is where we were in the month of May. And then August, this is where we are after doing a whole bunch of, rehab and kind of
yep,
see
yep.
how that picks up.
Now, would you say, do you guys have, I guess maybe that's in the global searches and stuff. I was looking at last year this time. between April 16th and May 16th. And we had like, I know you probably put the distributor websites in there, which gave it not screwed up, uh, bumped up our end buyer views. Has
Mm-hmm.
that been in within the last year? Because last year, this time we had 16,000 end buyer views, and now this last month we've had 37,000 end buyer views. Is that from advertising? Is that
It
because we're
it
generally
could be because
busier?
we actually added the because the new supplier center came out in March of last year.
Okay.
Um, and that had all those statistics in it. I mean, we were gathering the statistics, I think, previously.
Yep.
But I mean, if you made a lot of changes and started doing a lot more advertising, that could be why it bumped up.
Mhm.
Um, it's really kind of hard to tell.
Well, and then a month ago we had maybe 26,000 end buyer views, and then since I started doing it, I don't know if I'm just imagining that me going in and tagging this stuff and rewriting descriptions is helping. Uh,
I don't
it,
think you're imagining it at all
yeah,
because I think it's totally helping your product visibility for whenever distributors are searching
mhm.
or their customers are searching. Like I said, by having the right words in there, having it laid out correctly in the right way is going to be a huge help.
Perfect. A lot of lot of work to do. I thought I was done. I thought I was almost done with Sage. But that'll help me. So if I'm tagging, sometimes I run out, like let's say on Plax, I run out of things to tag. I'm tagging all the general terms. Would it be smart to throw in some niche tags? Like let's say I imagine there's 4-H's all over the country, or Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts that give out awards. Would it make sense to put 4-H and Scouts in order
It
to?
couldn't hurt. Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, if you have the space in your keywords, it couldn't hurt you.
okay. I
It'll
would just
just give you a little bit more of a targeted audience,
right.
you know.
It seems to be a balance of cast the widest net, but also try to hit the niche things
Yeah.
at the same time. Firefighters, fireman. Yeah, it looks like you got a
Yeah.
lot of fire stuff in there. First
First
place, first
responders.
responder stuff that I do. You have a lot of that? We have these big um perpetual donor wall panels that haven't I mean we sell them. They're all made in the US. uh do you know, would you mind looking at one of those? They're called a bonnet top. I'm just curious as to how to they were actually really low on our views, and I'm sure it's more of a niche thing that people are looking for.
They're called
uh
what?
it's called a bonnet top, BONET. And it's like a perpetual, yeah, there you go. And we have like 100 listings of those, so that's definitely got to be changed. Is there anything that you could see? I know I need to adjust the keywords or the colors. um and we got the shipping in there, which is good. 3D
Okay,
logo
this is
stuff.
listed wrong.
What's that?
Your plate materials,
Yeah.
because the way this reads is if I wanted to do gold silver, it's going to be 4,015 plus 4,364.
Oh, okay, so it's going to be twice as
Yeah.
expensive as it actually is,
Yeah. So
right?
that could be part of it. Let's see. Let me pull open the supplier center. Okay. So on the options, this needs to be listed as a total price,
Okay.
and remove this because that's what you've got listed here. So let me save that. Okay. So now it looks better. So on the website, it'll show that the brass plate is this price. And then if they want the silver gold tone, then it's going to be 4,015.
So it's cheaper for the gold and silver tone ones versus the brass? Is that right? Am I
I mean,
reading that right?
yeah, that's what you had the
Yeah,
pricing
I don't
listed
know.
that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I'm familiar enough with it to. I guess maybe brass is actual brass and not. I'll
Yeah, well,
have
see,
to.
this says gold silver tone.
Mhm.
So
Brass might be more expensive than just the painted version.
yeah,
So you think that's something that was so we had that set as not the total price, but as the
as an upcharge.
additional upcharge.
Hmm.
Ooh, okay. So nobody's gonna buy it when it's double for just the plates on there,
Yeah.
right? Gotcha. You want to give us 5 stars? I see that you can be the
It
first
won't
to rate.
count mine.
Uh,
Unfortunately, yeah, because well, some of my suppliers I would not give 5 stars
we don't deserve it at right now.
to.
Uh,
Here.
okay, so
And
that
so on the website, it'll be, so you have your colors where you can select what color you want.
mhm.
I'll just do that one. And then plate material, you'll see that it shows, it shows the difference is what it shows.
Okay,
So if I want the brass plate, then it's this price. So I'll just click, if I clicked it, it would put that price into
sure.
the cart, and then this would put it minus the 349.
Interesting. So that explains a lot. So you needed to change that to the total price and
Correct.
not an additional four thousand
Upcharge.
$364 for
Yeah.
that would explain why nobody's buying it.
Yeah, that would be very expensive. I'm sorry, I'm going to shut my door real quick.
Sure.
My dog got the zoomies. It's the blessing and the curse of working at home.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so any of your products that you have like plate materials or anything like that, you probably want to look to see how that's listed because you want to make sure that it's listed the correct way. If it's supposed to be an upcharge, it needs to be listed as an upcharge.
Could you go back to that to show me back again how you did that?
Yeah,
So
so
okay,
I just went into the product in the supplier center
yep. And then pricing or options.
options and then right here.
Okay, prices. So I bet you our perpetual pieces are the same deal because everything's been bulk uploaded into this into Sage from a database, which is not really optimized for it.
Yeah, see,
So
go back.
I would bet that our perpetuals are not priced right in there. And the thing is it's going to overwrite it from our database if
Yeah, unless they,
that's probably a bad one. That's probably not a good one to go.
oh,
That's part of some. If you go into so that's an add-on plate for the champion David or something like
mm,
that. If you go back to like a Nikolai perpetual or an LA,
what's that?
those have pucks that go with them. And I'm not sure how to add these optional pucks properly too.
Okay, how many does it come with any?
I think it comes with one blank resin puck placeholder and one personalized optical crystal puck, but they can add other ones.
Oh, here we go. One personalized crystal puck and one blank. So they can add additional crystal and additional.
They should be able to. I don't know. I haven't gotten to a chance to look up whether that is that has been optimized in there.
So what you would do, you would have to set up an option,
Mhm.
and you would put something like add-ons,
Yep.
and then you would put what it is here, whatever the upcharge would be.
Yep.
And
So
then they're
name
able.
and then upcharge.
Yep.
Okay. I just had them do one for me yesterday. It was the cubed. Could you see if I had them push that from the database? I would like. It's called the cubed. CUBED.
Which one?
It's. Did you type in CUBED?
Oh, I think I did. Oh, here we go. Let's do this.
I don't know that it's called the cubed. It's just called CUBED. As far as I know.
There we go.
Yep. So I had them add these add-ons versus being related products. They were related products.
Yeah, there's nothing added.
There's no options to add on anything.
Mm-mm.
That's why that makes no sense.
And this product was updated yesterday.
Yeah, they must not have gotten that add-on set up properly.
Oh, you cannot use Apple iPhone
Dang it.
as keywords because they are trademark terms, and Apple is
Oh,
hitting us really hard with it. If something is compatible with an iPhone, compatible or can be used with an iPhone, you can put something in the description that says that,
yeah.
but it can't be listed as a keyword. So
Okay.
no trademark terms can be listed as
Okay.
keywords.
I was basically saying it's got an Apple. What I
Apple would
was,
be fine. Like, does it have an
yeah.
apple on it?
No, it was
Oh,
the point was Apple makes iPhones that are rectangular ovals. So I guess I should have put rectangular oval in order to more properly represent that it has the same shape of sort of an Apple-esque product.
gotcha.
So I can adjust that. No problem.
Yeah, they just gave us an IP claim. So
What for us or for somebody else?
for everybody in our system
Hmm.
that's using those terms.
Okay.
Yeah. I just had the same conversation with PCNA, and I was like, well, you can put something in the description that says
Looks like an
looks
iPhone.
like an iPhone, shaped like an iPhone, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because then you're not saying iPhone, which could give the impression that it's an
It
iPhone.
is that it
Yeah.
is. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hmm. So that they didn't add. Would you mind looking at our supplier center and looking at what they put in there for that the add-ons for that, because they had related products which I don't see showing up. Where would a related product show up in here?
Yeah, it wouldn't show up on this. I'd have to look for the
Okay.
item number, but there's
They
nothing in the supplier center listed on this product
so
because
if
it would be here.
if we wanted to do an add-on for this, what would be the best approach for doing that?
Would be the options. Like what kind of an add-on, for an
So like
example?
if you look at the second picture down here, yep. Uh that's the base. That's
Okay.
really what you're getting. And then the add-ons, if you click back, are these little magnetic attachments that they can give them to, you have your 1 year anniversary. We send
Oh,
out
yeah, you would just do them you would just do it as like here I would put magnetic attachments, and then you would list them out like 1 year, 50 anniversary. I mean, if you have specific ones that are shaped in certain ways, you can list those out.
Okay.
And then that creates a drop down. If you have some that are different prices, like you have some that are bigger, maybe that cost more than some of the smaller ones. You might even separate them. I would put like small magnetic add-ons and list those, and then you could do the second option, large magnetic add-ons, and list those out. Because you
Okay.
actually have up to 3 fields that you could do different options in.
Sure.
And that way it would, and even when you have, if you have a specific size, that are the small ones, you could put small magnetic add-ons and then in parentheses put, 1 by 1 or whatever.
Okay.
Um, just to give a better visual for the distributors to understand what the sizes are.
Okay. Perfect.
That would be cool. Yeah, that's kind of a cool product.
Yeah, I'm just surprised we haven't sold more of it through the Sage. That's why I'm
But I
wondering.
would switch these images. I would put this image first
I
and
think
that image second.
I changed that because I thought nobody's going to know what this is if I don't put the magnetic attachments on there to show what it is. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It looks more like an alarm clock to me.
Kinda.
And if we didn't have this other image there for them, so I can probably switch those around. But I was thinking more for the advertisements that we were running. Like, is there a way that I can put a closer up image for the keyword search advertisements without changing everything on the back end, like in my database and stuff? That's kind of one of the things that we're
I mean, you'd have to change this first image because that's what it pulls.
okay. That's what I
And
thought.
I'm just gonna let you know my headset's about to die.
Sure.
So
I'm about to check out mentally. So
I know I gave you a lot.
yep. Yep.
But you can actually upload up to 99 images per product.
Okay. That's a
So
lot.
you can do different views, you can do additional things,
Hmm.
use that space to really promote that product.
They're doing everything from this database that is just not.
Adequate.
It's just it's good for getting the basics in there, but because they're trying to feed three different things at once,
Mm,
it's just turns into a uh, yeah. It's not great for trying to really dial this stuff in for Sage and for ESP. Uh, and I'm trying to, I basically went into Sage and just started manually doing this stuff. And uh, they update the database and it just all gone. So we got to figure something out there. They don't want to abandon it because they got a lot of time in its development. But for me, I'm like, this is hurting us when you update it and it kicks out all of the useful stuff that I put in specifically for optimizing Sage. So,
yeah.
and are you familiar with ASI?
I mean, I have not myself seen their product or see how their search tool. I know that they promote a lot because I'll get suppliers that say, "Hey, they optimized my keywords. Can you put these in Sage?" And I'm like, "No." Because they do a lot of repetitive words. They do a lot of really generic words like promotion, promotional products. And I'm like, every product in the database is a promotional product. That's not going to be helpful at all.
Right, right.
Um, yeah, so I haven't had that happen as much since the pandemic. And since my team has grown and we're really reaching out to the suppliers more on optimizing their product data. But I used to get these big lists of these crazy keywords. I'm like, first of all, it's 200 characters. Second of all, it's all repetitive and it's not going to help you.
Keywords are 200 characters.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I know what descriptions 500.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
But
that's combined in the search too, keywords and description.
yeah, actually product name, categories, keywords, themes, options, those are all searchable by keywords.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
they're all weighted the same. It doesn't care if it's in the description or the keywords.
Okay. Lot to think about. It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate the help.
You're most welcome. Feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions at all.
Sure. Can I get you to send me this video? I would record it. I just
Sure.
saw the record button, but if you could send me this video, I can get everybody else on the same page so that we're not in the dark, sort of
Of course. Yeah, I'll get
throwing
that sent right over to you.
throwing throwing mud at the wall to see what sticks. This is great. This makes I was trying to dig through all of the documentation and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And now that I can see the blank website and the Dallas promotional, like it makes just, yeah,
It clicked.
you've made my job more difficult but easier in the long run. Yeah, because now I
perfect.
know what I got to do. So I
Well,
was hoping.
take the weekend off.
Yeah, right. You too. Well,
I am.
thank you,
I'm putting
Carmen.
my pull up in the backyard.
And take those dogs out and run them good.
I need to. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. You have a
Yep.
good weekend.
You too. Thanks, Carmen.
Bye bye.
Bye.